Good morning, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang. It's your boy Dion back here with another video, man. I figured I'd go ahead and give us a little recap on the draft. So, the first day was crazy. Second day, there was nothing. And on the third day, there was movement. Man, crazy movement. So, with that being said, definitely please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 40 motherfucking Niners. So with that being said, let's get right into it, man. I'm just going to give y'all a couple of videos here, try to get y'all some quick hitters. I don't want to suck up too much of your time, but let's go. So round one, pick 14, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Round one, pick number 25, Brandon Aiyuk, wide receiver, ASU. Round 5, pick 153, Colton Mitkovitz, offensive lineman, West Virginia. Round 6, pick number 190, Charlie Woerner, tight end out of Georgia. Round 7, pick number 217, Jauan Jennings, out of Tennessee, wide receiver. So those are all of our picks as far as what we have, for draft picks. We only got 5 players. We have basically 4 offensive players and 1 defensive player. So to me, that says they got a lot of faith in the guys that we already have as far as on our defensive line and or our defense in general, because they drafted no safeties. We drafted no DBs. This is the last year of Jaquiski Tartt's contract, last year of K'Waun Williams' contract. So, we don't have any defensive back signed beyond this year. Literally, this is the last year of all of their contracts, including Uncle Sherm. So, that raises some questions to me. It's a little, I don't know. To me, maybe I'm thinking just a little too far ahead. Maybe they're thinking for the moment right now. I don't know. But hey, those are our picks. 5 guys, 4 offensive, 1 defensive. Says they want to bolster the offense. So, basically, we had some trades. Now, the trades were very subpar. And this is the reason why I'd say that. Because John Lynch doesn't know how to trade to gain capital properly. So he made the moves, he just didn't do them correctly. So for me, I know if I would preface my comments by saying, Dre, if you watch this, I understand you were pissed off. You interrupted me on Rombo the other day. No love lost. I know how you are. When you get triggered, you just go. So I ain't even tripping, bro. I'm not tripping. This is my opinion, my channel. I'm going to say how I feel. And to be honest with you, man, I'm going to address you directly. You were on the same page I was when we first made that trade to get Aiyuk. Don't tell me you weren't, because I will go back and pull up the footage. You were. So you changed your opinion. You are entitled to do so. I kept my stance. I'm not switching on that. You feel how you feel. I feel how I feel. It is what it is, bro. Still got love for you. Ain't nothing changed, man. Ain't nothing changed. We both LA cats. We both high strung with that. So it is what it is. I'm just saying, for me, I'm sticking to my guns on that because I don't believe he knows what he's doing as far as his trades. But with that being said, let's get right into the trades. So, first trade we had was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we traded our 13th pick and a pick in the 7th round to the Bucs, and we got their 14th pick and their 4th round pick of 117. That doesn't make any sense. If I trade you a pick in the 1st round You're giving me picks. I'm not giving you shit but the pick you want. That's not, no, that's not how this works. You don't trade. I don't care if it's a 7th round pick. I'm not giving you a goddamn thing. If you come to me and I'm in the 1st round and you want these picks, you want this pick because you feel there's a player that you gotta have, you will take what I give you. And I will not give you anything but the pick you are asking for. Nothing more, nothing less. That's how that's supposed to work. Very shrewd negotiators, very good people who work in the draft know this. They know these rules. They know how they work, and they know how to work those things to be able to make them happen. So I feel like we didn't get much. If I'm giving up a pick in the 1st round, you need to give me at a bare minimum a 2nd or a 3rd round. I'm not taking a 4th. But we didn't have very much draft capital in the first place, and we had no 4th round pick. We had no 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round picks. Now, mind you, in all of the trades that John Lynch did, we still didn't gain any picks for day 2. 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. None. We had no picks on the 2nd day. So we made that trade. So, all right, well, we got a 4th rounder, 7th rounder. You rarely find a guy that's going to be an impact player in the 7th round in the first place. So we said, all right, that's cool. And the reason we didn't have any picks in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round, guys, is because of the Dee Ford trade along with the Emmanuel Sanders trade. We gave up our picks to Denver for Emmanuel Sanders, and we gave up that pick to KC for Dee Ford. So that's the reason why we didn't have those picks. Now, Emmanuel Sanders paid dividends, but the thing is he walked after that. So we didn't really get much value for that. We got 1 year, we got half a year and the playoffs. And he did come in and he did some great things in our receiver room. Once he got there, you could see everything pick up. So I love the impact he had, but I just feel like the 3rd and the 4th round pick, and you don't get a lot of return. You get 8 games in the playoffs, and then you let the guy walk and go to New Orleans. I don't know. That it is what it is. But the Dee Ford trade, when he's on the field and he's playing, our line was unbelievable, top notch. When he wasn't on the field, we were doing well, but we weren't doing as good as he was when he was there. The issue with Dee Ford is staying on the field. Every now and then, that knee's going to start hurting, and randomly he's going to be out for a 4 or 5 game stretch. So, not necessarily too dependable, but you can tell his impact when he's on the field. It sucks, but it is what it is. And those are facts. Nobody can dispute that. And I mean, if you feel like I'm lying or you feel like I'm wrong, look it up. When he's on the field, line is great. When he's not on the field, line doesn't do as well. But the issue is him staying on the field. And you can't tell me otherwise, because it's the truth. He missed too many games, period. I don't care how nobody feel about that. So, the next pick was the pick that pissed me off and initially pissed off my boy Dre. In the beginning, that was his stance. He was on the same page as I was. And this next trade shows you again the ineptitude of John Lynch when he does his trades. He doesn't know what he's doing. So he traded the 31st pick, the 117th pick that we just got from the Bucks in the 4th round, our 176th pick in the 5th round to the Vikings for pick number 25 to pick up Arizona State wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, on the strength that Green Bay was about to draft him. Green Bay blew smoke up our asses, people. They drafted Jordan Love, and that is Aaron Rodgers' heir apparent. You will probably see Jordan Love sit for at least 3 to 4 years, and then they will go ahead and push Rodgers out the door, let Love take over. Same thing they did with him and Favre. Nothing different. But if somebody was supposedly going to draft this kid, I don't know. Everybody else that drafted after us had no wide receiver needs. Or drafted before us up to the point where number 25 didn't have wide receiver needs. Save for Green Bay, they did, but if they had wide receiver needs, there still were plenty of other wide receivers in the draft that they could have gotten that still would have helped their team. But randomly, they draft Jordan Love. That don't seem suspect to any of y'all? No, that don't make no sense. Come on now. And then look what we did. We gave up 3 picks to get Brandon Ayuk. Come on, people. There was like 4 or 5 receivers that went before this dude. And I mean, I watched the highlights. You know what I'm saying? I took my time. I did my film study on him. I like the kid. His numbers are great. And I like how he did it. You know, he wasn't so good the year before because N'Keal Harry was sucking up all the, all the catches and everything like that. And yeah, that kind of happens once in a while. You have a guy that's great, kind of outshines the others. It's usually how college works. But, this last year, he did a really good job. He had, he's got skills. He's got some good punt return skills and a variety of other things. But I just felt like he would have been there at 31. I didn't feel like we needed to trade up to go get him, which is why I called this move idiotic. You know what I'm saying? So we traded the 31st pick, the 117th pick, the 176th pick to the Vikings for pick number 25, and we went up to grab Ayuk. So there it is. We had a pick on day 2 and gave it away. And, I mean, like I said, you get a good receiver, but he would have been there, and that's my biggest gripe with that. He would have been there, and that's why I harp on that situation. I don't think that they were really going to draft him. I think they had it in their mind they were going to draft Jordan Love to be the heir apparent because Jordan Love didn't have a spectacular college career by any stretch of the imagination. Otherwise, he'd have been up there with Justin Herbert, Tua, and he would have been mentioned, with the top guys and drafted in that order. You would have seen him go in the top 15 if he was that great. But he dropped back almost as far as Rodgers did, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what they did. They took him. So that's just how I feel about that trade. That's why I feel it was dumb, because I felt like Ayuk would have been there. Period, point blank. That's my stance. I'm sticking to it. I don't care how nobody feel. I'm always open for healthy dialogue. But that's my opinion. He would have been there. I don't think we needed to move up to go get him. Nobody else was going to get him. I don't think there was even a receiver drafted after we drafted him in the rest of the first round. Period. Just saying. Those are facts. So, after a abysmal first round, man, we just, we're looking and we go, okay, well, what's next? So after we make these individual trades, we were trying to move people all along. So we were trying to move Keith, we were trying to move Dante, we were trying to move Matt Breida, just to try to gain some draft capital. So here we go. We trade Marquise Goodwin and pick 210 in the 6th round to the Philadelphia Eagles for their 5th round pick, which was pick number 190. People, this is why I'm saying he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm going to give you a player that you need who can take the top off the defense, along with, I believe they still have Deshaun Jackson, and he's supposed to be on the mend, healing up. So I'm going to give you that, but then you want me to give you a 6th round pick as well, and you're only going to give me a 5th rounder? And I give you a guy who at best should usually be worth a 4th? That's not smart trading, people. Look at what happened. You wanted to get him off the books. Okay, I get it. You cleared some cap space. There you go. Found somebody to take that damn money and get up out of here. That's cool, but it's not. The trade just didn't. It doesn't make sense. And for the life of me, I really wish somebody would try to sit here and explain to me how that made any sense, how we did anything that made perfect sense. That was just a dumb move. You give up Keith. See, if we'd have gave up Keith and just got the 5th rounder, I'd have been fine with that. All right, hey, we weren't really going to get much for him. He was injured. He didn't look spectacular the whole time he was with us. You know, he looked all right his first year, his second year, last year he was injured too much. So okay, I get it. A fifth rounder is probably as much as you're gonna get for him. But to get a fifth and give up a sixth, come on, man. We already don't have that many damn picks. It doesn't. Once again, that trade doesn't make sense. So the only trade that he did went ahead and made some sense was we traded Matt Breida to the Dolphins, and we got, pick 153 in the fifth round. So for me, you know why that makes sense? Because that's how you do it. Breida didn't have an extremely large amount of value. Why? He's often injured. That's why you have to have a rotation of backs when you have a guy like him, because there's going to be times where he's going to be off the field. This is just proven just within his time with us. We get it. So getting a fifth rounder from Matt Breida made sense. Good job, John Lynch. You get a thumbs up for that one. That was one trade that you made that made sense. So then we have the flat out bombshell that hit us all by surprise. On draft day, we trade pick number 156 and a 2021 third round pick to the Washington Redskins for Trent Williams. And everybody was like, what? Wait, what? I'd seen the rumors. Believe me, I was on Twitter. I seen it all. And I said, I don't know. It's all hinged on what happened with Joe Staley. So I think what happened is they knew Staley was going to retire. He was taking too long to give him an answer. And maybe he gave them an answer a few days ago and they just kept it close to the vest. They said, no, we're not going to allow people to, in and let this get out. And the next thing you know, boom, we get Trent Williams, I apologize. So for me, 7-time Pro Bowler, boom, like this trade on the surface says to me, hey, good job, John Lynch. Another trade where you get a thumbs up for that one. You made a move to bolster the offensive line. This guy's a 7-time Pro Bowler, when healthy, one of the best left tackles in the game. And if you get him and he's fully healthy, that's another 3 to 4 years of great play. So we have a left tackle for at least the next couple of years, and we can continue to groom the people that we have on the line, and or we can go ahead and we can, draft ourselves a left tackle in a couple of years if we don't feel comfortable with those dudes. So great move. Here's the thing. I didn't like what was said by John Lynch, but I can understand it to an extent. With Trent Williams, this is a wait-and-see approach. No rush to sign him to a long-term deal. So that tells me on one end of the spectrum, guy's been injured a little bit. Want to make sure he's okay. Want to make sure he can play a full season. Want to see how he feels, how he adapts to the system, whatever's going on. He was with Kyle. He was with Mike Shanahan. So we feel like this is going to be a good thing. It's great marriage when it comes to player coach. So to me, this move will be predicated on whether he comes in, balls out, and then we sign him, or he comes in, balls out, and we let him pull an E-man and walk. 1 year of a tackle that good is not going to cut it. We need to make sure we keep this guy around for multiple years to be able to, justify this trade. It makes sense. So those were the trades that we made. Now, as I said, the trade for Breida made sense. The trade for Trent Williams made sense. The trade for Ayuk, the trade with the Bucks, it did no. You cannot explain to me how that made any sense. None. There's no way to be able to tell me, and then the Marquise Goodwin trade too. There's no way to be able to, you can't explain that to me and tell me that there's another GM out there that would have done that. I've been watching the draft for a very long time. I've seen GMs wheel and deal and do things and make trades and do it with the best of them. What's funny is Right after we went ahead and made that idiotic trade to go get Ayuk, Bill Belichick makes a trade, drops back into the second round. But you know what Belichick did? Belichick gave up his first, and he got their second and their third. That's how that works. That's what you do. See, if you're inexperienced at something, what's the first thing you should do? Find somebody who's experienced and learn from them. Ask questions, pick their brain, take the time out to know what they're doing, and say to yourself, okay, this is how, all right, cool. I know I'm gonna make some mistakes along the way, some bumps bumps in the road. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna get the hang of this. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna master it, and I'm gonna do great. That's not what John Lynch did. He'd been a GM for 3 years. Now that is by no stretch of the imagination enough experience to be able to make experienced trade moves and or know everything that you need to know. But in that time, your time should have been spent hanging with other GMs, picking their brains. Hey man, look, come here, let me talk to you. Hey, so how do you make these moves? What are you looking for? What do you do? Pick the brains of people who have the experience to be able to gain further knowledge to set yourself up into a position to win. Put yourself on a pedestal to be able to be recognized as one of the great GMs. I like the move that he made for Trent Williams. Great job. But with a wait and see approach, it leaves cause to pause strictly based on the fact that I don't want us to pull another E-Man. And I'm scared of that because look what happened. 3rd and 4th round pick, gone. E-Man, out the door. You see what I'm saying? Like anybody logical would understand that. Some people are running. Some people get pissed off. They run off emotions, and they're not. They're not looking at I'm looking at the big picture. I'm looking at a broad spectrum of things. I'm not looking at the here and now. I want to see what's going to happen. So, with that being said, this is just a recap of our draft, recap of our picks, recap of what trades we made and what we did. So, once again, Javon Kinlaw, Brandon Ayuk, Colton Mikovits, Charlie Warner, Jawan Jennings. Next couple of videos will be on these guys to be able to give us some insight and some intel. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. We had a C+ draft. I'll have to say that. I'll give it probably maybe a B- at best, just because of the trades. It's just yeah. So either way, this is our draft. These dudes are here, so that just tells me they got a lot of faith in the guys that we're going to have. Y'all stay 49 and faithful. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll be right back.